Yeah, so to kick things off, and obviously this is our understanding, we work with a couple of providers, and there has been a lot of concern around everyone getting spammed. You've probably experienced it yourself, tons of people that are spoofing numbers. And as a result, they're being proactive, which is really great at SimPro in making some changes so that numbers don't get disabled. But obviously the impact that's happening on August 17 is around realistically the sender ID being stopped. And so when you're sending out, as it's got top right here on my screen, your messages or text will go to the customer. They will have a no reply initially. And what that means is that there's no number that's going to be able to be displayed. And I've just listed a couple of things that are going to be impacted. So primarily, number one, communication is going to be outbound only. So you're not going to be able to receive inbound text messages from the customer. And so that's obviously going to impact your customers as well. And we'll go through some examples of how that can impact. Obviously, sending a technician out and not being able to tell you that they're not there right now is obviously going to be detrimental to productivity, for example, and that's one of many. And not showing your sender ID and having to display it inside of the conversation naturally then means that you have to have a phone available to track all of that conversation. So the conversation effectively gets broken if you're sending messages out from the no reply and then having it stored in some other location, which is why we're having this conversation, because Lana provides an ability to track all of that conversation. Ideally, if you are using a system to track the conversation, you want it to be able to record and have a record of each of those messages as well, whether that be text or voice, and Lana obviously is going to provide that, and I'll show that in a moment. You lose the ability to track the conversation between your team and customer. Now, if you guys are sending out text messages to customers through notifications, probably in some cases, if people aren't actually requiring a response, then it won't necessarily impact you too much. But in the case that you want to send it with a phone number, it would be ideal to be using a system like we're going to provide. Finally, this point says that you cannot automate responses to save time. Having a one-way outbound message is great, but if you want it to have automated responses and multiple messages being sent, that's going to also be impacted as well, such as sending a message to a customer, notifying them of an appointment, and then confirming that appointment won't happen anymore. So yeah, a couple of changes that are happening coming up.
Yeah, okay. And I've received messages occasionally from retailers or other service providers I've had to deal with in the past, and they'll be in the same message stream, if you like.
Yep.
Is that likely to happen once we go over to, or once SimPro moves over to that type of messaging?
You're saying receiving messaging where potentially like your local mechanics sending out tires and then Flower Power are using the same common number?
Yeah, that's right.
Potentially. Yeah, that could potentially happen. I don't have all the absolute ins and outs, but certainly not having a dedicated number for yourself is not going to be beneficial. So, but how they manage that at the back end, I'm not sure, but certainly, yeah. Okay. The impact is now one of the positives. Yeah, I constantly get asked, could we send our name, so ATD Electrical, instead of the no reply? You will. So you'll have alphanumeric capability, and that is something you can have. We've also always not allowed that, because what we want is the ability for the people to send messages back. So you lose the ability to have two-way conversation when you have that that text instead of a number at the top. Okay. Yeah.
So what is Lana able to offer to sort of improve on that process?
Yeah. So as you probably well know, Guy, working with us for a while now, Lana has existed for a while in terms of improving the messaging between customers already, and that includes a couple of things: notifications, tags, status changes, and so on. So that any action that you're doing inside of your SimPro account can automatically trigger not just one outbound message, but a sequence of messages in the form of a workflow. And of course, with our numbers, they're always two-way. We set up I'll go through the points. Lana messaging is two-way with the ability for customers to reply not only via text message, but by phone call. Phone calls are recorded within Lana for quality and training. So you can see all of your outbound calls and inbound for your team and messaging all in one place, which is super, super helpful. All conversation history is recorded against the job in one location in Lana. And the real advantage that a lot of our SimPro users find is that by having one central location and the messages being recorded, your admin team can be seeing what the techs are saying. So if the admin team scheduled a job and the appointment reminders are automatically being sent for the technician to attend at 1 o'clock tomorrow, for example, when the technician's on their way and they change the status to technician traveling, all of that conversation is being held. And if the customer responds, you'll see all of that in one dashboard as well, which is really helpful. And obviously the main primary advantage is why we don't have any disruption is that we purchase a dedicated number for the business on your behalf, and you own that number, right? So the best thing is it's not only notifications, but all your marketing collateral and your messaging to your customers. You might want to send out a bulk message to your customers about an upcoming promotion. Might be winter period in your aircon installer and you want to get some more jobs because it's a bit quieter, service maintenance jobs, where you can send out a bulk 1,000 SMSs to your customers and automate getting some new business in rather than just using it purely for notifications for your existing customers. So there's a lot of improvements that get added just on top of that as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Mate, I think I might quickly jump in and just use you as an example just to show the customers how simple and easy Lana is to use. Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I threw you into the system already. So just without going into the ins and outs of what is what's happening inside our account, over here you've got what's the conversations area. Okay. And I'm just going to bring that up here. In the conversations area, by definition, this is where you have conversations with all of your customers, okay? And so simply put, you can talk to Guy and I can have a conversation with him. He's in our system already. So if I just type and say, hi, mate, I can do that directly and that'll send a text message directly to Guy's mobile phone. Hope you don't mind your number being shown on the system.
No, that's
so you're receiving text messages now. And the luxury is obviously because we've got the mobile app, you can see all of that conversation is also on the mobile app as well. So if you've got teams that don't have the luxury of an admin team, you can do it all directly out of the mobile app on Android and iPhone. Yep. So simply put, this is where the conversations are happening and you can track all of those conversations in one place. And if you want to just quickly shoot me a text back just to show you that people receive messages back, please, Guy. So what we've got here, did you shoot me a text?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what we'll show you in a second is also that we've got the opportunity section. We'll show you how seamlessly, this is where the conversations, we can create a customer and a quote instantly in SimPro. You just drag the customer across and drop the card. And that will also, hi, can I get a quote? So guys, just message us back. We'll have a look at that in a second. So if I come over to my SimPro account, which I should have probably had open for this demonstration, and I log in, just by dragging that job card across, you'll automatically have Guy as a quote right here within your SimPro account. And the advantage being now is that you just do what you do inside of SimPro normally, okay? And so as I say to all of our customers, whether it be a lead, a quote, or a job, we can track all of those statuses or as you go through each of those journeys, okay? So any stage, any status, or any tag can trigger a notification from Lana, okay? So simply put, I'm just going to give you an example, and Guy likes this one a lot. Technician traveling. Is there ever, Guy, a more important time than that message to be sent as soon as you actually change the status, right? And by the way, that's in the SimPro mobile app, changing the status. Yep. You want that to be delivered immediately, right?
Yeah, that's right. And, essentially make sure our customer is going to be there and they're ready.
Yeah. Yep. So just by changing it to technician traveling, hitting save and finish, I come back to the conversations area where we were having a chat. Now you just operate inside of SimPro, and as you're changing any statuses, it will automatically update. So if I come into Guy, so Guy has written back previously, hi, can I get a quote? And this is just by changing that status. Hi, Guy, I would like to advise our technicians on their way. and he can now call me. Could you just quickly give me a call, Guy, as well? So we just divert the call to whoever's managing the inquiry at the time, and that comes up as an inbound call, and that'll be diverted straight to my phone or whoever handles the inquiry. Okay.
Yep.
And now if I do answer that call, that'll be a recorded conversation. So I'll just answer it. Hello, mate. How you going?
Good, John.
Right. So that conversation will then turn into a play button and have the ability to play that conversation for record keeping, which is super helpful. You don't need to record all calls. You can disable it, but it's available. So here you can see all the messaging occurring between the customer. The beautiful thing is your admin team can see the technicians on the way to the job. You can see the customer may or may not have arrived. And then as you're going through the job, there's a couple of other things that, I suppose there's a number of notifications you suggested to me this afternoon, but what I like to highlight is, the main ones I see our SimPro customers loving is that, for example, when you're chasing a quote, right, just changing the status to quote sent to client and hitting save and finish. If I can beat it to the system, you'll see the job card will shift to quote sent to client. Watch this. It'll automatically push over. So you don't have to do anything inside of Lana, and Lana will automatically chase the quote for you and send out a number of messages such as, I'll just show you what it looks like. There tends to be about a 10 to 15 second delay between our two systems, SimPro and Lana, which is not too detrimental. What will happen is Guy will get a couple of messages sent to him to say, thanks for quoting us and, chasing the quote effectively. You've had an invoice sent. Please contact our team. So that conversation will come through. And again, if you do convert this convert the quote into a job, it will track all the status changes of the job as well. One of the other major ones, sorry, that conversation come through yet? It will in a moment. So the other one that people really tend to like is once you've applied a cost center, which I'll do my best to look like I know what I'm doing within the cost centers. If you schedule a job, there's two methods that we have, and I showed this a couple of times today, is if you schedule a job and you want to send out a confirmation message of that appointment, just leave it like that for 3 minutes, and Lana will automatically send a text message and an email to the customer if you prefer, or both, to confirm that appointment time. It will also send an appointment reminder the day before, and if you want one the same day, it'll send it that day. If you don't like it, because you tend to move jobs around a lot, the alternative is this. You can right-click and lock the schedule. By locking the schedule, it'll automatically confirm that time and send the appointment reminders. So we have different routes depending upon how your team like to use it. I've talked a lot, Guy. Do you have anything you wanted to ask me while I'm sitting here?
No, so I guess in a nutshell, not only can we replace the notifications, but we can make it a two-way conversation. Yeah,
absolutely. So notifications don't just become as by definition, a notification. It becomes an update, or perhaps, someone being able to be advised and communicate back, which is super important. One of the things SimPro have us in under categories as an integration partner with them is under customer experience. And as you can see, being able to, for your team to be able to simply change the status of a job into a quote sent, which I did a moment ago, sorry for the delay, you can see it automatically sent a message out, right? Saying appointment confirmation. Hey Guy, your appointment's confirmed with that scheduled job that we just did a moment ago. It also sent a message to them via SMS. This is the SMS confirmation sent out to them. So you don't have to do anything in Lana. Once the workflow is set up and you choose a status, we're improving your customer communication to help you win more jobs and keep your existing customers happy as well, which is super important.
Definitely.
Yeah, so what did I not cover? So we've covered off status stage tags, triggering workflows and reminders. If anyone's got any questions, I know we've got a couple of other people on the line. If they want to ask a question, they can type it in the chat for us.
And while we wait for them to come through, if if we do want to take the next step and get some automation happening, how do we go about that?
Yeah, good question. So We've already had a look at the dashboard. So to avoid disruption, just to give you a quick timeline, let's say, for example, you said you jumped on a call with me tomorrow, and I'm already booked out for tomorrow for one-to-one demos. So we've put something together for you guys pretty quickly. It's a 48 hours from when you subscribe until I've actually purchased an approved, government-approved, regulated number that you could use as your heart's content. So it takes 48 hours for me to set that up for you, which will enable you to have your automatic notifications. You'll then jump on a call with my team, which we then will go through and build your workflows. So obviously we have to understand your use of your status and stage and tags and other things that you want notifications to be sent. And we build all of those for you. So that generally takes at least 3 or 4 days. So you'd be looking at 7 days for us to create all the workflows and notifications as well as we can. Now, Guy, you told me some people have got hundreds of notifications. So it's based on, it being practical, but we want to ensure that we just avoid as much disruption as possible. But you'd be looking at least a week for us to set those up for you. So the main thing I want to establish is that you'll be able to use your SimPro account as you normally always have, and those notifications are going to be sent out from Lana. So one of the things we've set up for you is the following. We have a couple of different packages on our website, but what I created, because I know this is disruptive to you guys, is a dedicated subscription purely for this. It's called the notifications package. In fact, if I just click on, I'll just click on that link. I just want to open that up.
So
I'll show you what it looks like.
You don't have to jump on and grab the whole package.
No, you don't. Yeah, because I'm just mindful that some people just want to solve this issue. Okay. So I created the SimPro notification package dedicated to this. It's only one user account. You don't get all the other functionality of Lana because naturally you would be applying to be a customer of Lana with all of our workflows and systems that we build with a full CRM, bulk messaging and other things. It's just this. It's $1.99. You get one user account, and we just build the established workflows for the notifications that you're missing. You won't have all the other major functionality that Lana offers, but it will mean that you'll have the ability to send messages out directly from your system as you normally do without disruption. And it'll be two-way, and the dashboard, everything that I showed you today. Does that make sense? Sorry, I tried to make this up. Literally, we built this an hour ago. So I just wanted to, I'm doing my best to explain it. So the cost for the subscription is in Australian dollars, $1.99 plus GST. You don't pay the GST if you're overseas. And we do have a setup fee of $7.50. Now, that workflow, the workflows that we build for you are extensive. So that's what our team customize and build for you. So from your new leads coming in through to chasing quotes, through to appointment reminders, and building the, whether your team wants a message sent every 24 hours to chase a quote for 30 days, we build that for you. It's quite a lot of work involved. So you can appreciate there's a setup fee for that. So you'll be looking at $9.49 and then $1.99 thereafter to keep your notifications. And again, you have your own dedicated number as well. So I did put that together. Hopefully that's going to make sense. Now, one of the things I'll mention is naturally Lana provides a couple of other features that you can look at. Our pricing by default is very competitive in terms of, for our SimPro customers, normally speaking, you pay $249 plus a $99 integration fee. So we've pretty much saved your users to save this solution $150 a month. So I think that'll be appreciated to try and avoid disruption. And I think the benefits too are you're going to be able to use that number for your marketing and messaging as well. So that'll help you convert some more leads. Anyone wants to speak to our team, you can obviously go to Lana Software and just book a consult. And obviously that has our live calendars, everything that we have on our website and what we do, we practice ourselves. And so you can book in times to chat with our team about any questions that you might have. Any questions in here? I don't think so. Anything else you want to cover, Guy? And thank you for jumping on, mate. Shut late notice. I appreciate it.
That's all right. And I don't want to keep everyone longer than they have to be.
No.
So thanks very much for presenting that.
No worries. So what we'll do is I'll share this with you, Guy, and then you can post the recording of the video of us and and then you can just embed the subscription link and everything else for anyone that wants to get in touch.
Okay, fantastic.
All right. Okay, I didn't see any
Thank you very
questions
much.
in the chat, so we'll leave it there. And again, either reach out to myself or Guy if we can be of help to anyone as well. And hopefully, you know, we've given enough time. Anyone who's subscribed in the next 24 hours, I will assure you that you'll have no disruption if you're, you know, before the 17th when it all happens.
Fantastic. Thanks very
All
much.
right. No, you're welcome. And thanks everyone for jumping on board. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, mate.